Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kara's Cures podcast. I'm Kara Sutherland, and this is a place where we get cutting edge information to help improve your wellness, better family, better life, better spirit, better health. And I am joined now by Dr. Artemis Morris, who's a board certified naturopath. She is super, super smart. She teaches clinical nutrition, and I am happy to have her because we are talking today about should we cleanse? Is that even a healthy thing? Is it a fad? If we're going to cleanse, how should we do it? And you're going to be able to do it with us, whatever Dr. Morris decides. So welcome, Dr. Morris. We're talking about cleansing. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Kara. It is such a delight to always, be on your show and talk with you. And I'm excited that we're going to be able to offer this to your people as well, because it's time. And I have a little presentation. So if it's okay if I share my screen and just kind of get into some of the things I'd like to share with your viewers.
Yeah. I want you to get to your presentation, but let me ask you a few questions first off the top here. First of all, we hear the word detox, we hear the word cleanse, and I think it's a charged word. Lots of people are doing it. Some wonder, oh, it's not healthy. Oh, you're not eating. Oh, in general, is it healthy to cleanse? And which way is healthy?
Well, as a professor of nutrition, one of my most favorite things to say to all of my students is this particular phrase that is very true of most things. It depends. So, it depends on what you're doing. It depends on who is following you, because for some people, a detox is just eliminating sugar. And that's enough to get them on a new road to health. So a detoxification program is only as good as the recommendations and your specific individual needs. So the detox program is a Mediterranean detox program that I'm going to be sharing with you. And that is a very healthy, simple, effective way to get the benefits of detoxification from additives, preservatives, fake food, junk food, as well as having some of the benefits of a Mediterranean diet. So the one that I'm going to share with you is very safe. It is effective. And you want to be careful with other detoxes that are too harsh for you. So this is why I want to make sure that we are monitoring and personalizing if we need to. So if you're being followed and it's a generally healthy whole foods diet, it's really safe and can be extremely effective.
And people have heard of some of the commercial ones like the Whole30, where you're eating, but you're just eating really whole foods. So I want to get into what we're going to be doing with you, but I first want to invite everyone to join us. Scott and I are going to launch this on the show, and it's a week from this recording, which will be Monday, May 10th. So I get to eat my chocolate croissant on Mother's Day before I start. I've been feeling, a little extra fluffy, kind of having some issues sleeping. And you say sometimes this is a good idea to just reset. And you do this yourself a few times a year.
Absolutely. And this was the program that I did. I have 9-year-old twins. And so I had to do it twice after the twins, but, within a 4-month period. But it's really helpful for like postpartum, if you want to lose a little baby weight, if you want to just get a little more energy, if you want to jumpstart your metabolism, because the toxins that we're exposed to actually affect our metabolism, and they contribute to chronic inflammation, which can cause chronic disease. So it's a great way to get a little more energy, to lose a few pounds, and to get on a healthier eating pattern.
So we're going to be sharing exactly where you're going to order this cleanse. You also, on this podcast and on the show, going to be learning a lot about the Mediterranean diet. So I'm going to let you speak a little bit, and I'll ask some questions as we go along. Show us what kind of cleanse we're going to be doing. I need to take notes too, so I can get the right groceries.
You got it. Yeah. And we will definitely provide a lot of guidance on your Facebook group, because the healthiest diet, the best kind of detox diet is one that is being monitored and is a whole food. So, why should we even detox? Like many of you might be wondering, why bother? Like, what is this about? Well, one of the reasons why is we get exposed on a daily basis to hundreds to thousands of toxins, depending on your environment. And one of the things that I'm going to have us do in that program is I have a questionnaire that I have people fill out before and after. So it's a quantitative measure of how they're doing. The other reason that is that there's only about 7% of the over 3,000 chemicals we're exposed to have been tested for safety. So this is from the Environmental Working Group. And so, whether you're spraying the lawn or whether it's might be even from a medication, from the air, from the food we're eating, like it or not, we are exposed to toxins, and our body needs some help in terms of how to get rid of these toxins, because what they do is they contribute to inflammation. And I wrote a book called The Anti-Inflammatory Diet for Dummies with Molly Rossiter. And, as many of you know out there, inflammation is really the cause of chronic disease, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. And so if we
all
can
starts with inflammation.
Exactly. So if we can reduce your toxic burden, reduce that inflammation through diet, and help your liver and your kidneys and your organs function better, you're going to have a better trajectory towards health and longevity. You're going to feel better, more energy, metabolism, weight loss is going to be easier. So one of the things of a medically sound detox diet is it reduces inflammation. It also, and this is where you asked about safety, like what's a good safe detox to do? If you're getting rid of the junk and the toxins in your diet, then, that's actually the way we used to eat before there was junk food. I remember going to Greece and I couldn't get M&Ms. I couldn't get some of these things. And so, the way that people used to eat before the junk food is basically what we're coming back to. So that's very safe and healthy way of looking at it.
Okay.
And it does boost your metabolism. So if some of you out there want to lose some weight, you're having a little trouble with the tire around the middle, you want to get ready for
a mommy muffin top.
Exactly.
Well, we all used to be able to eat whatever we wanted, and then all of a sudden that went away.
Yeah, and that's because of food and the toxins. It also is because of cortisol, and that's another story, but we will get things started with this Mediterranean detox program.
Okay.
But it does boost your metabolism, and one of the things that's included that has been proven to help with metabolism is extra virgin olive oil. So one of the things in this program that I'm going to do is help people to understand about extra virgin olive oil and how that could also benefit metabolism and inflammation.
Okay.
And another thing is, I know for me too, there are days where I'm like, I just want to eat what I want to eat, right? It's like food is not just for nutrition, it's for comfort. It's for, like, if we're feeling sad, there's many reasons why we eat. And so this detox program allows you to have a healthier relationship with food, to see how food makes you feel, improves energy. It also can help with joint pain because, as you mentioned earlier, why do we have joint pain?
Yeah, inflammation, right?
Exactly.
You even women with cramps. I know you've told me this. I thought it was just normal to have cramps when you have a menstruation cycle, but you said actually that's inflammation.
Exactly.
And I know many of us have been living like that for a really long time, and Advil's just part of the protocol.
Right. And so I'm so happy that I get to share with you some very natural ways to also get rid of some of those joints, those pains, those cramps. Ginger tea is good, and we'll have that as part of some of the foods you can have.
Okay.
But absolutely. And then better skin and digestive health. I can see the glow when I put my patients on a diet like this with the supplements and with the detox protocol, and they'll tell me their skin improves, their digestion improves. I've had patients with chronic joint pain that have gotten rid of their joint pain on this program. So I'm hoping that the people that do it will get really excellent results as well. And then it also can help with memory and focus, because that, again, inflammation, if we can reduce that inflammation through our food, through certain nutrients, then we'll also have better focus and memory.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. People want to know, what can't I eat? There's plenty of things you can eat on this cleanse, but we're going to talk about what you can't eat. And this is the list.
Right. And there's going to be a much more detailed list through your Facebook. But basically we're cutting out the junk. So we're getting rid of the refined sugars, the processed food, the hydrogenated fats. We're going to look at labels. So I'd love for your audience to start posting some labels or look at labels and say, what's really on there? And some of the times the hydrogenated fats, the fake sugars, the corn oils, are coming from their supplements. Many a times I've had patients come in and they'll tell me, oh, I'm taking a vitamin D. And it turns out it has corn oil or soybean oil in it, which can be pro-inflammatory. So we want to look at food and supplements and cut out the junk.
Okay.
We also want to eliminate foods that cause inflammation. And I know this is an introductory podcast, so we're going to talk about that in detail with the group.
Yeah. So just to let people know, you're going to go to my Kara's Cures Facebook group, and I will let people know how to do that if you just follow me on my regular Facebook page. But Dr. Morris will be able to guide you every day along with her functional nutritionist. And Scott and I are going to be doing it right along with you. So here's how we're going to detox safely. All right. We got to drink the water. I'm working on that. I have my green tea though right now. That's good, right?
Cheers. And green tea is so wonderful. It actually is good. It's a thermogenic, so it helps with metabolism, and it's great for detoxification. So one of the things we can do during the cleanse is replace the coffee with the green tea. If you still need to keep in that 1 cup of organic a day, that's okay. Because it's a Mediterranean detox, we're a little bit more, we allow a little bit more latitude. And so that's where the Mediterranean diet portion comes in. But green tea is a great substitute for coffee on the cleanse. You want to drink water. That in and of itself can help with metabolism. We need water. And you at least 8 ounces, but really it looks like you need at least like 15 for women. And
I've heard about half our body weight in ounces is often what people will say when we interview them on the show. I don't know what you feel.
Yeah, this is where it depends on how you're getting in it. So you could drink it just as water, put a little lemon juice, put a little something in it. So the cleanse, the shake is going to be water because it's going to have the non-dairy milks in it. But fruit, veggies, those are also teas, herbal teas, having my herbal tea right now. That's also another source of water. So when you think about water, it's not just water from like the spring water. You want to do water can come in many, but definitely, if you do half your body weight, you're going to be all set.
Okay.
And then
get outside. We want to go outside. We want to move. Are we going to exercise on this cleanse if you want, or is it more like, just go for light walks?
Because it's a Mediterranean cleanse, part of it is also getting in tune with your own body. And if you feel like moving, you want to move. Ideally, if you're looking at the Mediterranean, people walk every day. They walk everywhere, So this is a great time to get out and walk. If that, you want to go with what you're able to do, but movement and exercise, if you can do 30 to 45 minutes at least 3 times a week, that's the minimum. And that's because of circulation. We want to sweat. If you want to get really fancy and start doing saunas and different things, you can do that too. But exercise is necessary for a healthy body, and that's part of the foundation plan, a Mediterranean foundation, which we're incorporating into this detox.
Okay.
And then the rest and relaxation, this is where good sleep comes in. If you're not sleeping well, then you're not going to get the benefits of the cleanse. And so because sleep is so important for metabolism, for your microbiome, and the relaxation part comes in, I know we're all so busy, and you have some great tips on your show on how to function well in a busy lifestyle. I really appreciate a lot of things the points that you bring up. And so you want to allow for this 8-day program some time for relaxation. So do your best to try to incorporate that, some good quality sleep, and I'll have some tips for that as well.
Okay.
So we're getting into a little science here. I love my science, Kara.
Yes.
And so it's very scientifically based, because one of the places where detoxification can go wrong and where some of the detoxes out there are potentially dangerous is because in order for our body to detoxify, and our livers, our body's doing this all the time. Our bodies are detoxing all the time. We're exposed, they detox. We're just going to help it do that a little bit better with certain foods and nutrients. So you see here that there's different steps involved. So there's a step one of phase one. You need a lot of B vitamins. You need, certain bioflavonoids, quercetin. There's certain nutrients that help with that. Phase two, this is where some of the amino acids come in, the cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli, the kale. And then, there's actually a step three where we're eliminating it. And this is where some of the polyphenols come in. So this is where you want to make sure your bowels are moving, that you're able to sweat appropriately. And if this is not happening, if you are nutrient deficient, if you are not getting these nutrients that help with phase one and phase two and even phase three detox, you are actually making things worse, and you could actually the toxins will get reabsorbed. So this is why being a medically sound Mediterranean detox program is what I'm recommending, because we want to make sure that we not only help the body to conjugate those toxins, but to eliminate it.
Yeah. And so so people don't go, oh, I don't know what all this is. When you sign up for this cleanse, the shakes that we're taking come with some supplements. And so that you're taking the right things, supervised by you, Dr. Morris. So all those things that we need, the required nutrients, are going to be in this cleanse. So you might even just feel better from taking a lot of the vitamins that you're going to be getting through the shakes and the supplement.
Absolutely. Because if you're not starting off with a really good diet, and if you're not able to get those 5 to 7 servings of veggies in a day that'll get you these nutrients, then the nice thing about the shake is that it has a lot of things in there as a medical food shake. And so there's a couple of supplements, and you certainly could do it without it, but just to make sure you're detoxifying properly, I do recommend, incorporating the shakes if you can.
And we're going to have a link at the end of presentation. So you just order it. This is coming again from a company. It's Zymogen. Is that right?
Yes. And because it's a physician grade company, I'll actually provide the link through your Facebook group, more specifically, because I do want to make sure that I am monitoring it, and then I have a clinical nutritionist.
So you want to go to Karis Cures Facebook group, just search Karis Cures on Facebook. I'm going to accept everybody, and we'll be posting. And that's just because we want to do it safely. We want to invite everyone in the community to do it, but we're going to do it with guidance. When the great thing is, if we have questions, we get to ask you. So, and also you're not wasting your money or some of the fad stuff that's out there that might even have bad things in it. This is a clinically proven way of doing a safe detox.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you might ask, why Mediterranean? And, so why have, I've been practicing for 20 years. I taught clinical nutrition to naturopathic physicians at University of Bridgeport. I did some studies on it. And so the reason why I am bringing the Mediterranean diet into this detox program is because I want to incorporate the health benefits of the Mediterranean diet into this program. And that way, and it's clinically proven, like for the 4th year in a row, actually 2021, this is 2020, but the Mediterranean diet has been shown to be the best diet by US News. And there's a reason for that. It's because it has the clinical research behind it. And we're going to get additional benefits from it being more Mediterranean based and traditional based. And what is it about the Mediterranean detox? So what's a little different about it, you might ask? We're adding some detoxifying foods, some more anti-inflammatory foods, some antioxidants. Like, these are all buzzwords for things that we can explain in greater detail, but these are the types of mechanisms you want these foods to have in order to maximally help your detox pathways, to help your biotransformation, to help your metabolism, to reduce the inflammation. And the extra virgin olive oil, it's a nutraceutical in and of itself. So think of it as it's a healthy fat, but it's actually working like a food medicine. And so that's why that's a part of this program.
You're not going to be hungry on this cleanse. You're just going to be giving yourself good stuff. So
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not restricted in terms of calories. And so we know how food can really be a cause of chronic disease. In fact, worldwide, it's shown that diet and lifestyle can have a very powerful impact on chronic disease. But it also can be a really great tool for reversing that. And that's what we're going to talk about with this cleanse. And some of the detoxifying foods that I mentioned earlier, this is through a study that was done at University of Bridgeport, which was great, about like which foods were proven to work on those detox mechanisms. We're going to incorporate these, and then you can personalize it. We'll talk about that in the group.
Yep.
But garlic, onions, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, even carrots, celery, parsley, the berries, dandelion. And I have an Instagram post. It's at Dr. Artemis Morris, where I'm going to be posting even more on how to eat your lawn as long as it's not being sprayed. How some of these
I know, because of you, I canceled my spraying this year.
I'm so proud of you. And I am
dandelions out there, but apparently that's good for me.
I am so proud of you. And, the more people that get inspired by that, so that, it becomes a status symbol if your lawn has dandelions on it, because you're like, oh, great food and medicine. And that's the way to decrease the toxic burden of the earth. It's an eco-friendly way. This is an eco-friendly detox.
Okay.
It's a way to really help not only heal ourselves, but to start that process in choosing foods to help heal the earth as well. Some herbs and plants like the chamomile, the dandelion, chicory, even ginger helps. And so, shall we get started?
Yes. You're going to, number one, you're going to order the kit, which we're going to put this on my Facebook. We want you to go to Kara's Cures Facebook group. I will accept you. If you're not already following me, you can find me by searching Facebook that way, or just look for Kara Sundlin on my page. And then you can find Kara's Cures as well. I'll post on my page so you can find it, or just go and join Kara's Cures Facebook group if you haven't already. So you're going to join the group, and now we have to prep our pantry. So what do we have to do?
So there's going to be a little bit more detail, but in general, two of the big changes for most people are going gluten-free and dairy-free. And we are going to allow some yogurt as well. So this is, again, part of the Mediterranean, but as long as you're not sensitive to lactose, then that should be fine. But going gluten-free, that's going to be a part of it. And let's see, do I have, here, we'll keep here for a minute. So gluten-free grains are like amaranth, quinoa. You might want to go out and shop for some of those, like a rice bread or something like that, if you are used to having that toast.
And there's so many great things already. I mean, it's a lot easier to do this than it was 20 years ago. You can go into, the health food store, Whole Foods, whatever. There's so many different gluten-free breads. So if you like to have toast in the morning, you could still do that. You just need to have the gluten-free, whole, pure bread that's not doesn't have gluten in it, right?
Right. And one of the things that we're doing in the program, I have a clinical nutritionist, Lisa Scoma, that has joined me, and we can look at specific products to help guide you, because some of the gluten-free things out there are junk food. It's actually contributing to toxins. So we want to really be careful about those choices, but you're absolutely right. There are a lot of wonderful choices out there for gluten and dairy-free products. So those are the two biggies. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free. So it's happening before corn on the cob, which is great. And then
why no corn?
Corn. So the reason why there's no corn is the similar reason why there's no gluten or dairy. When we look at our food system, corn is ubiquitous. So that, which means it's found in so many food things. If you just like look at a bottle or something, pick something off the shelf, it's going to have corn in it in some way or another. And there's some great documentaries on it, but corn starch, corn syrup, corn oil, corn is it can be genetically modified, and it's found in so many of our food systems. The same thing with wheat and some of the gluten containing foods, they can have toxic chemicals in it. So we want to reduce and eliminate GMO products as well. But corn is a biggie. I had one patient that he had some attention issues, and it turned out once we eliminated the corn, he was fine. So corn can be an underlying inflammatory food for a lot of people. So we're going to eliminate that, and it's not going to be for long, but we're going to definitely cut that one out too. And so just to give you a heads up on the supplements, and again, you could do this without the supplements. It's just, I want to make sure I do it with the supplements. I generally recommend it because I want to make sure that people are detoxifying properly. They have all the nutrients they need for their body to go through that phase 1, phase 2, and help with that phase 3 with keeping the bowels regular, detoxification. So really simple. And I've tried a lot of different shakes out there, and I'm not a big shake person, but I do like this one. This one's pretty good. It's anti-inflammatory, it's gluten and dairy free, it's stevia free for those that are sensitive to that. But you're basically going to do 1 to 2 caps at night before bed of a bowel regulator. Very safe, very effective. And we're also
that's going to keep things moving.
Exactly. Really effective.
And I should let folks know that I did this with you last year, right as we were kind of entering, and it was June. So the pandemic had started. There was lots of stress going on. I thought, let me try this. But the drops, you just little things you put under your tongue. Then you're going to take a probiotic, which you recommend we take all the time anyway, but this is a special probiotic. And then the OptiCleanse is the shake. And that's something, so you're not starving. You can have this shake in the morning for breakfast. It says here you can sometimes have it for a snack, or maybe if you are trying to lose a little bit, then maybe you replace one meal every now and then too.
You can use it that way. Absolutely. But it's, this is a healthy Mediterranean detox for general wellness, and you can use it for weight loss. If you want to be a little more calorie restricted on it, you can, but we're not saying that you need to be. And the shake's pretty good, right, Kara? What did you think?
I thought it was good. I just put in very simple things because I didn't want to mess it up. I'm very simple, and I have a very busy life. So if I was going to put something in, I might have just put a handful of like organic frozen fruit, and that was it. But I know you could mix it with other things that are allowed. Maybe you're going to put some organic greens in there. It's a great way to get some extra greens. I just want to address the weight loss thing because I know a lot of people have said to me, oh, I'm excited. I really need to lose some weight. So you can lose weight on this cleanse, although we're only doing it for a short period of time. It's more that you're going to set yourself up so that you can have better food habits, and that your metabolism, if it's slow and clunky right now, is going to be a lot faster at the end of this. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Because one of the things that affects metabolism, which is how well you process food and how well you're able to lose weight and maintain a healthy weight, is the toxins. So for example, artificial sweeteners, we're getting rid of those because those fool your brain into thinking that you're not full, and so you eat more. So this has been proven in studies, in animal studies. So we're going to cut out things that are tricking your body into thinking that you need to eat more, and some of those foods that are designed to be hyper palatable in the sense that you get addicted to them. You can't eat just one. So we're going to cut out those foods. And that's going to, number one, just creating a whole foods diet, like a whole foods Mediterranean, your metabolism is going to be in a much better place. The wheels are going to turn better. And then for the weight loss, definitely, I've seen this work well with weight loss, and with a lot of other positive benefits. So, you're wondering about what to eat. So here's a couple of ideas: gluten-free, dairy-free. Like there's a lot of different types of milks out there, and you want to get the unsweetened kind. You want to look at the label for that too. The other thing is ghee. Have you heard of ghee?
I have heard of ghee, and I do have some ghee in my house. I don't always use it. I think I don't always know what to use it for, but I mean, basically it's a clarified butter, right? It's like a butter that they use in India.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you to the Indian culture for introducing us to ghee, which is exactly a clarified butter. So it takes out the proteins. So it is still considered dairy because it is from milk, but we're including this in it because it has so many wonderful benefits on helping with gut health, with promoting short chain fatty acids, and helping with also can help with inflammation. So that could be your butter substitute, which is made from butter. And then the essential, because this is a Mediterranean detox, is the extra virgin olive oil. Like I said, so many health benefits: thermogenic, good for blood sugar regulation, decreases inflammation, heart disease, Alzheimer's, the list goes on. So
Yes,
that
good quality extra virgin olive oil. I know you want us to buy, and that doesn't necessarily mean super expensive, but just you want to make sure you're buying a good quality one.
exactly. And well, that'll be a whole, post as well,
Which
because
ones?
there's a lot, it can get very confusing as to what
Yeah.
to buy. Absolutely. And plan ahead. So one thing you want to do is after you've joined Kara's Cures, the Facebook group, after you've ordered the supplement, you've looked at your pantry and gotten substitutes, at least for the biggies, gluten, dairy, get a little ghee if you want, and the extra virgin olive oil. I'll post some resources for that. You want to think about planning ahead, and we are going to have some menu planning as part of the group that we're going to be sharing. And then journal. I recommend to journal during this time, because sometimes, you don't realize how a food makes you feel until you let it go. It goes for a lot of things. You don't know how you feel about something until you let it go. So we're going to just let go of some of these foods so that you could really see how you feel. And then at some point, we're going to bring it back in so you can see what does that food make you feel like? What does that corn, that dairy, that gluten make you feel like? Here's a sample menu too. And like I said, it's not calorie restricted, but you certainly can, if you want to safely restrict your calories on it or do some intermittent fasting on it, you could absolutely do it.
Yeah, if a lot of people, I have a feeling, including myself and Scott, are going to want to be losing some weight. So in this case, you are allowed to have nuts, seeds, and fruit, but you would probably say don't eat half a jar of peanuts, because that's not going to really help you lose the weight.
Right.
There are like nuts and quinoa, but really what we've learned is, and any diet plan anyone has ever tried before, from Weight Watchers to whatever, most everything out there, and I'm not going to say that you endorse them all, you don't, but they always say you can have as many vegetables as you want. That's always free food. So we want vegetables. Let me ask you this: does everything have to be organic? If you're doing shopping, I know organic's a little bit more money. Maybe you just choose your favorite foods, but on the Detox, should we be only buying organic produce?
So I'm going to share a resource on that from the environmental working group, and your viewers, if they're watching right now, can go ahead to ewg.org. There is a Dirty Dozen Clean 15,
Yep.
which is where, there are some foods you absolutely want to buy organic.
If we're going to have strawberries and berries, you'll see those are definitely on the Dirty Dozen. So that kind of stuff, while we're detoxing, you want us to be buying organic if it's on the Dirty Dozen.
Absolutely. And, I would definitely buy organic as much as possible. Sometimes it's not certified organic. Local, like this is a great time to join like a locals farmers market that is producing without pesticides and toxins to grow, start your tomato plants. Like you can grow some foods out there on your own too, but, organic as much as possible, and absolutely with certain foods.
Okay.
Yeah. So a sample day, it could be the shake if you want, like, so eggs are included for people who are not sensitive to eggs, or oatmeal. Yeah, we're having oats. Oats do not contain gluten in an amount that is considered to be a high gluten product. So you can still have oatmeal, and green tea is great. Nuts, seeds, fruit. And then if you want to go lower glycemic, if you have blood sugar issues, that's a good idea. Lunch might be a wonderful salad. And this is, if you want, you can do it with beans, or you can do it with fish, or you could do it with some grass-fed chicken or organic meat every once in a while. So that's why the Mediterranean part is there too.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to minimize meat and focus more on fish and seafood and beans, nuts, and seeds, the plant-based. It's a very plant-based detox program.
Veggies toast. All right. And we're going to get really more in depth on this when you join the group, but just an idea of what you can have that's considered good for you.
Absolutely. And, what we'll do is we will be there for support. So, myself, I'll be looking and posting things on your group, and so delighted. Thank you for sharing this with your audience, because it really does combine the best of both worlds: a detox program to help boost metabolism, to decrease inflammation, and the Mediterranean diet, highlights of it that are really healthy, part of a traditional spring detox, and will lead to maximal benefits for health and longevity, and hopefully create a new relationship with food that will last a lifetime.
And for those of the people who are saying, oh, I'm doing this because I really want to lose weight, and that's always sometimes a gateway for people. You can lose some weight on this, but also what you're going to say is we're going to have a faster metabolism, and some of those cravings, like if you're crashing every day at 3 o'clock, or you're tired all the time, or you're waking up with brain fog and you're like, how am I going to keep up with my kids? A lot of that can dissipate. I found when I did this, but I know you would back this up. This can dissipate quite quickly on a detox like this. You can start noticing some really major differences in how you feel, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen miraculous results with many people. Like some people, it's really shifted their chronic pain, helped with autoimmune disorders, helped with weight loss, gotten rid of headaches. Initially there could be some little slight detox symptoms, but this is a very gentle cleanse. And so you won't be on the toilet all the time. Like this is not the kind of cleanse where you have.
I managed to still go to work and take care of my kids the last time I did this. Dr. Morse, I don't know if you're done with your last slide, but can we come back and see your pretty face?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I don't see you anymore. There you are. I want everyone, just in case you didn't see at the beginning of the podcast. Well, if you're listening in your car, you're not seeing Dr. Morris, but if you're watching this on my Instagram TV or YouTube or anywhere, you're going to see Dr. Morris. And you are in Milford, but I know you treat people everywhere. And if people are interested in meeting with you, I know you can, especially in the days of the pandemic, so much as Zoom now and telephone conversations or in this Facebook group. You can reach people. What should people be aware of if thinking, I might want to do this, but what's it going to be like? Might we have headaches, or, what can we expect the first couple of days?
Right. Well, there's really no risk, and potential benefits are limitless. And what you might expect. So if you do a lot of coffee, this would be the thing where, like, again, this is the Mediterranean detox. So we're a little more gentle. And so coffee actually does help move the bowels. So not everyone should be drinking coffee. So 1 cup organic a day would be fine for some people. If you can replace it with green tea, we want to replace it because it's better for you. It's going to help with detox. And so headaches are something, especially if it's caffeine withdrawal headaches, some people have that. And then, in terms of fatigue, maybe, but that there's a 2-day prep. So there's 2 days to prep where you're doing the supplements. Then you go into it. It's a 6-day program. And for some of you, you're going to like the way you feel so much that you want to continue it a little bit longer.
And especially if you're starting to lose, you might continue. And you might discover, this has happened to me before, that you have some food allergies, and that certain things you had got rid of, you probably shouldn't eat at all.
Yes, it's true. And that's the beautiful part about you're learning a new relationship with food. So the foods that we eat every day, they might not bother us. You might not notice, oh, that corn, that corn syrup in that food product or that bun, you might not notice it bothers you, but it could be doing something called a delayed hypersensitivity reaction. It could be contributing to some inflammation, so that once you eliminate it, you're like, wow, I didn't know I could feel this good. And that's what I see a lot of my patients noticing on this cleanse. I use it as a jumpstart for metabolism. I use it for inflammation, for autoimmune disorders, for those inflammatory disorders like the cramps or the low level joint pain, just when you just don't feel well. And I know for me, like the biggest telltale sign of needing a detox is fatigue. If you're tired, then it could be because your metabolism is slowed down by some of this inflammation. Okay. And this is a very safe way to work with fatigue. So if you have a fatigue syndrome, or if
what about a lot of people have had COVID? And I know one of the long haul symptoms, certainly in our family, has been, I'm more tired than normal. So fatigue, in that sense, if you're getting over COVID, or you've had a lot of, maybe you had some strong medications because you were fighting it might be a good time to clean out.
This would be a perfect diet for post-inflammatory fatigue. Yes, because it eliminates inflammatory foods which slow down your metabolism, because when it's actually called a post-inflammatory syndrome. So what better diet than one that decreases inflammation?
Yes.
And we are including foods in there that help your body detoxify. I've seen liver enzymes go up after COVID. So this would also help with liver function. So yeah, perfect diet for like a inflammatory syndrome as well.
Well, we're very excited. And again, we want you to join the Kara's Cures Facebook group. That's the first thing. You'll find all the information there. Dr. Morris and her functional nutritionist, Lisa, they're going to be posting every day. Scott and I are going to let you know how we're doing. This is progress, not perfection. If you goof up a little bit, it's okay. We're all in this together, but we want people to feel better. And hey, we all want to lose a few pounds in time for summer too. So this is a good way. I wanted to bring something to people that I knew would be healthy and that would be safe for folks, and hopefully start another whole conversation and journey as we head into the summer about, we're all coming out of this pandemic. We want to feel good. We want to look good. It's a new beginning as we start May here. So Dr. Morris, thank you so much. And shout out your website so people can look you up if they want before we join the Facebook. It's Dr. Artemis Morris. She's Greek, if you haven't figured that out yet.
Yep, and there's the Mediterranean piece. I grew up with this diet, so I've been actually following it for a lifetime so far. Yeah. And so my website is DrArtemis.com, drartemis.com. And that way you can access Artemis Wellness Center. If you did need a personalized nutritional consult while you're on the diet, while you were doing the program, I do have a nutritionist on staff as well.
Yeah. And this might be a great way to just get started. So, all right. You've done a great job so far. Give yourself a pat in the back. You listen to the podcast. You can go back, you can feel, and we're going to, those who want to join, we're going to actually start the detox program on Monday, which is a week from this taping, but it'll be May 10th. In the meantime, if you're just listening, or maybe you're listening to this tomorrow, or you're seeing this later, it's okay. This is just prep time. We're going to order the stuff. We're going to prep our pantry. I am going to be running around like crazy me always. So I'm going to keep it super simple, and I'll be sharing ways that you can do that. I call it the daily grind. How can you make it a sacred grind? So I'll share some simple tips, which might mean that I'm just going to have chicken and broccoli or kale every night, but that's okay.
It works.
Or fish or whatever I'm allowed to have. It might be that I'm going to eat the same thing, and that might just have to work.
I'll help you. I'm here for you, Kara.
Can you cook and clean for me? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I wish someone could do that for me too, actually.
But actually, I just want to say before we let you go that the nice thing about your program is it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, because good nutrition is simple. The Mediterranean diet can be super simple. We don't need a lot other than we're going to order these supplements. It's going to help us do this safely. It really is simple. It's kind of going back to where our grandmother ate, and it's a lot less complicated. We just can't be driving through Chick-fil-A while you're on this.
Exactly.
Or any fast food. I not to single them out, but I know that's the thing. The kids are like, you're running around crazy. We're going to have to prep a little bit because it's tempting to run in and get things. But we can eat out. Is that true?
Yes. And you can make kale chips.
Yes.
I'm so excited. My kids love kale chips, and you can
My kids love kale chips, and we can have a buckwheat pancake as long as you make it simply. I like a buckwheat pancake.
Look at this. We're creating our menu plan already. I love it. Yeah.
Again, I'm allowed. I don't know if I'm allowed. Can I put a little? I know you can put fruit on it. Can I put a little maple syrup, or there's no?
Yeah, it's whole. That's whole food. So a little maple syrup is fine.
Maple syrup. Okay. We just obviously if you're trying to lose. You don't want to drench it, but okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can eat out. You just want to be really meticulous about what you're choosing. You know, so
I often will say, can I just get so many restaurants now, if you're going to a good place, you can say you want it simply prepared. So you just want it simply grilled, or simply this, or simply steamed. It's not as exciting as some of the other items on the menu, but you can still eat out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sushi, Thai food, Indian food. There are a lot of places that are naturally gluten and dairy free.
All right. That's it. All right. Everyone go join the Kara's Cures Facebook group. We can't wait to see you there. We're going to cleanse together. Thank you so much, Dr. Artemis Morris, superstar nutritionist.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.